Rascal is a dog, he ain't too bright. Me and Rascal was sitting on the couch last night when my woman come in and started to cry. She looked at us with such terror in her eyes. She said, I have raised these children for 18 years. Now they're growing up and they're moving out of here, and my big reward for all that I've been through is this dog as dumb as mud. And you, yippee-yahoo. Well, Rascal looked at me in disbelief. He said, she can't be talking about you and me. She's got us to spend the rest of her whole life with. Would you please tell her how incredibly lucky she is? And I said, who's gonna love you any better than this? We'll wake you up every morning with a big wet kisses. When we hear the police sirens in your neighborhood, we throw our heads up in the air and we howl for you. Ow! And that's cool. You gotta admit that's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I don't believe we had succeeded in convincing her of the outrageous good fortune that had befallen her. In fact, instead of looking happy as she could be, she looked a little bit, well, you know, suicidal to me. But hey, kids go to college, kids move away, but dogs and husbands, that's who stays. To you it seems like a big trick of fate, but me and Rascal don't see it that way. We're thinking, ain't we cuddly, ain't we cute? We are both real funny, both real true. There's another thing about us that's very cool. If you scratch us on our belly, our left leg moves. And you gotta admit that's cool. Ow! Ow! Well, okay, so maybe we ain't that smart. We're a couple of mutts with a lot of heart. But no one could ever love you better or give you more loyalty than this dog as dumb as mud. Than this dog as dumb as mud. This dog as dumb as mud. And me, how lucky can one girl be? She's got a dog like you, a man like me. We'll be together well into this next century. Put that knife down, babe. There you go. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is my first time doing this live out to the world. So here we go. Here's another song. Our kids are grown. They're both in their 20s. They live at home. They are never gonna live. And why should they go? They've got a good hair, you know. Their food, their phone, their rent is free. They would have to be out of their minds to leave. But I was thinking, what if things were different? You know, living here at home with you and me. What if we decided we could act like they both did when they were in their teens? So wake up, mama, climb out of this window. I have got the key, let's steal our daughter's car. We'll both get really drunk and we'll put a big dent in her trunk. And we'll drive real fast down the thoroughfare. If we get a speeding ticket, we won't care. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild. They'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wake up, mom, climb out of this window. Come on out, be 16 with me. Picture our kids calling all of our friends up. That's right, and asking them if they know where we are. Yeah. Of course, all our friends will lie and say they ain't seen us all night. But we'll be standing right beside them while they're on the phone, smoking and drinking and carrying on. And when we come strolling home on Sunday morning, around 10 o'clock, while the neighbors walk to church, our kids will ask us where we've been, and then they'll ask us again, and we will just make up a great big lie and swear that it's the truth until the day we die. And they'll be the ones who are trying to find the truth out, and we'll be the ones who are lying through our teeth. And under pressure, we'll confess that we had unprotected sex. That will gross them out so much they might just start to think about moving out. If turnabout is fair play in this life, then what better way to encourage them to live than to give them both a dose of what it was like to live with them when they were in their teens. So wake up, mama, climb out of this window. I have got the key. Let's steal our daughter's car. We'll both get really drunk. We'll put a big dent in her trunk, and no one will know where we are till we come home in the police car. That's right. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild. They'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wake up, mama, climb out of this window. Oh man, be careful. You're not as young as you used to be. That's 40 feet down there. I should have brought a ladder, probably. You know what? The kids are both drunk and passed out. I think we should just go out the front door. Come on out, be 16 with me. 'Cause I remember you when you were 16. You were the most beautiful thing that I had ever seen. So wake up, mama, wake up, mama, wake up, mama, and be 16 with me. And the crowd goes wild. All right. Just going to continue on the teenager theme for a few pieces here, and then we'll see what other interesting things I can conjure up here. Interesting other subjects. An old wife and a husband, they had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what he did. He smoked a lot of marijuana, he snorted cocaine too, told his parents he was gonna drop out of school. The father pounded on the table, the mother hollered and she screamed. They ran him down to the doctor. Doctor, what does this mean? He put them all on Prozac, right then and right there. He said, you'll still have your problems, but now you just won't care. He prescribed a little therapy, some supplementary drugs, but he didn't write a script down for a little more love. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. Or when you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. I know a wife and a husband, and they had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what she did. She said, Mom, I'm sleeping over Susan's. That was just a big lie, 'cause what she really was doing was staying out all night. And when her parents found out, they cried boo-hoo-hoo. And then they called the radio talk show. They asked him, what should we do? He said, send her off to boot camp. That was his advice. It was good for his ratings, but it wasn't very nice. Just a little more love, what the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. But when you're looking at your lifetime from the end, when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. I can see that you're a tough guy. You won't be pushed around. You're not gonna take it. You're good at putting your foot down. You might get killed by lightning. You might get hit by a truck. But if you are not that lucky, you might just wind up spending years in a rest home without a whole lot to do. But look back on what you did with the time God gave you. Just a little more love, what the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. But when you're looking at your lifetime from the end, when you are done, you know it might look a little better. Big, rough, tough guy to see a little more love. It might look a little better. See a little more love. Alrighty. Alright, I'm going to read a piece from my book. This is my book. My book is called Memoirs of a C Student. That's the name of my book. It took 5 years to write this book. 5 years. If I was a B student, I could have done it in a week probably. And so if you look at it, it's called Memoirs of a C Student. In this part, if you can see that, this is a desk. This is the kind of desk that old people like me used to sit at with the old inkwell in the corner there and people's names carved in it. And so my book, Memoirs of a C Student, was written a while back, and I put quotes from important people on the back of my book here. I mean, I tried to find important people, but I don't know any of those. So I just put quotes from my family on here. Thought I'd read a couple of them to you. First one is from my wife, Teresa, who grew up in federal housing, and she brought many interesting character traits from her childhood in federal housing into her adult life. The one that's best represented here is one that I like to refer to as a fundamental absence of subtlety. That's correct. And in these 7 words right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, she has distilled down to its essence how she feels about this enterprise and about her husband. And she took great care with these 7 words because she knew that people who aren't even born yet were going to read this someday, long after she was gone and I was gone. So she wanted to make sure that they had a clear understanding of how she felt about this enterprise. So here we go. I'm going to channel Mrs. White. All right, now, these are her 7 words for posterity. This thing better make lots of money. All right. Then, there's another quote here from my brother Michael White. Michael White is a very astute observer of the world. He drives a forklift at Logan Airport, and he has a keen eye. And these are his observations on his brother's alleged memoir entitled Memoirs of a C Student. I knew that this book was going to be a pack of lies as soon as I saw the title, because my brother was a D student. So now, I'm going to read something about my kids, and then we'll move on to other subjects. This is, I have to tell you, I've been doing my concerts on Zoom, and I can hear people reacting, so this is a little bit of a stretch for me, but I'm doing my best here to realize that you're all there, and that I'm not just a crazy person in his room talking to a screen. All right, This piece is called A Much More Deadly Strain. My children make fun of me. They make fun of their mother too. There's nothing we can do about it. Many years ago we created these people through a mysterious biological process that bestowed upon them, among other things, our own unique wit and irreverence. Now, in an impressive example of accelerated evolution, they have taken our wit and irreverence to levels we never dreamed possible. They will be dancing in a group with their friends at a party, and my son will suddenly yell out, "Everybody dance like Mom!" And then instantly, all the teenagers on the dance floor begin to perform their own individualized versions of the twirling hippie chick on acid at the Grateful Dead concert. Here, allow me to give you an interpretation. So picture 15 or 20 15-year-olds dancing in my living room, and eventually one of them goes, "Hey, everybody dance like Mom," and they all start to dance like this, like, whoa. They call it the aging hippie butterfly catcher dance. Now, after they exhaust the creative possibilities of this delicious parental mockery, my son will suddenly yell out, "Now everybody dance like Dad!" And then the entire group breaks into improvisational interpretations of the mating dance of the adult male, uncoordinated, white guy who thinks he's cool. They call it the dork dance. Now, this activity often culminates in them all lying in a heap on the floor and laughing uncontrollably. Now, in addition to having become a great source of comic relief with these young people, I have lost my ability to hold my own in repartee as well. For instance, my daughter recently told me that I needed a haircut. I told her that I had every intention of growing my hair down to my behind. She told me that I was having a midlife crisis. I told her if I was having a midlife crisis, I would have a new Corvette, and she would have a new mommy. Okay, now, without missing a beat, before the last syllable of my sentence had traveled across the room to my daughter's ear, she looked at me and she said, "Pa, you can't afford that." And then she did the sassy daughter dance and sang me this song. Here, I'll imitate her. She just jumps into this improv. She goes, "You are having the poor boy's midlife crisis. I think it's funny. Ha 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 ha." And then she danced out the door, laughing. And I stood in the kitchen like Sonny Liston after the first round of his second fight with Cassius Clay. I was just looking around, wondering what hit me, and mumbling to myself that I used to be invincible around here. Now, there are many humbling moments in this business of child rearing. Perhaps the most impressive is when you realize that your own unique brand of obnoxious behavior has been processed and refined through the life experiences of your offspring, only to reappear in the form of a much more deadly strain. That's right, a much more deadly strain, capable of conquering the world, and beginning, of course, with you. There is nothing in a person's life that says it's time to pass the baton more clearly than getting your big behind kicked by a younger, smarter, stronger, cuter version of yourself. Ta-da! There you go. That's that. Now let's play a song. All right, I see there's a lot of chat going on there. Forgive me for not focusing on that. I just want to focus on entertaining you. I'll look at that stuff later. Okay, but thanks for being here and all of that. I want to tell you, this is a new song here, so I want to tell you about this. So my daughter, that I was just talking about, she graduated from high school in the year 2000, I think. And that was the year that the pharmaceutical companies dumped all the OxyContin into the country, that they flooded the world with it. And so those kids from her graduating class who were 17 or 18, every medicine cabinet that they opened up during the subsequent years had, 100 pills in it. If you remember back then, they would give you 50 pills for a toothache. And so now, these years later, it's a mess, and it's real to me because these are kids that I know, and they're dying, they're overdosing. I think that she told me, without hyperbole, without exaggerating, that somewhere in the vicinity of 30 kids from her graduating class are dead from opiates. So I didn't know what to do about it. I wanted to do something because it's real to me. I have to go to these funerals. So I wrote this song, and I took a long time to write it. It's called "For the Loved Ones of the Lost Ones." It's from the point of view of somebody who's lost a child. I interviewed friends of mine who've lost children to this, and it's them speaking on behalf of the person that they lost, trying to encourage somebody to come out, to get better, So they're trying to keep their children's memory alive, and so this is called "For the Loved Ones of the Lost Ones." I have a nicely recorded version of this that I'm going to give away to an organization called Learn to Cope once I get a free minute. And Learn to Cope is an organization for, it's a support group for people who love an addict. And so maybe we could, Brandon, if you can think of that, find their link and post that in the chat. Learn to Cope, and they're out of Taunton, Mass. So it's not for the person that's using, it's for the people who love them. It's a fantastic organization, and I thought I would give this to them and just see if they could raise some money for it. So here, I'll be funny after this, but right now, just want to put this out there because it's real to everybody. They were not just statistics, our children had names. Don't say they were junkies, and they all are the same, 'cause they each had potential to do something great, until heroin stole that potential away. And now we are the loved ones that they left behind, and we keep the memories of them alive, and we speak the words that they want to say to all of you who are still using today. In the name of our daughters, in the name of our sons, in the name of all the beautiful lost ones we love, behind all your sorrow, behind your despair, we see only the light that's still shining in there. Morning at the moment that I open my eyes, and the weight of my loss crashes down on my life, I remember the night that my son came to me and spoke comforting words to me in a dream. He said, "Don't give up on those with sad, broken lives. Tell them you still see the light in their eyes. Offer them help and hope every day, and I will be there beside you each step of the way. In the name of our daughters, in the name of our sons, please take this help so you might be the one who gets clean and comes back here with all that it takes to help us save these broken angels in this place. But we can't save these broken angels. Save these broken angels. of the lost ones. For the loved ones of the lost ones, 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 for the loved ones of the lost ones. Okay, I'm gonna sing this song for my wife. This is called Sassy Brat. In the 41 years that we have been wed, I've wondered if you ever heard a word I said, till I said pass that remote control over here, and you told me to blow it out my ear. I love you, you're a sassy brat. You make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. When my fans call up and say that I'm great, you tell them that that is a huge mistake. That if they had to live with me, they would understand what a big pain in the ass I am. I love you, you're a sassy brat. You make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. There are men who like women that they can dominate. They bring them breakfast in bed and always tell them that they're great. Well, my sassy lady never does that for me, but at least a life with her is definitely not boring. She says if you want me to believe that you're great, do a couple loads of laundry around here someday. Hey pal, it's only because you're still kinda cute that I haven't already gotten rid of you. I love you, you're a sassy brat. You make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. You say the kids have both gone to the show. How about a little quickie before they come home? I say, I suppose you think you're really slick, the way that you keep emphasizing little and quick. I can hear you laughing, it's not that funny. I'm not that sure I love you, you're a sassy brat. You hurt my big fat ego and you make me mad. Please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. Sassy bratty lady has been hanging around here, driving me crazy. 41 years, if I could ever afford to see a psychiatrist, I'd ask him why the hell do I like being treated like this. We were in bed but we were still awake. You said I really love you in this life we've made. I said, hey, can I quote you on what you just said? You told me if I did you'd punch me in the head. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. I hope it's not too much to ask. Let me grow old. With my sassy brat. Alright, so let's talk about the women in my life now. I am descended from a strong woman. My mother was a tough guy. My mother was born in the wrong time. My mother would have went to Woodstock. She would have hitchhiked around the country. She would have followed the Grateful Dead. She wanted to be a rebel so bad. But she graduated from high school in 1946 or something, and there was nobody to be a rebel with. It was just her and I guess a young James Dean, and that was it. And so she lived vicariously through my rotten friends. And being the good son that I am, I accrued a tremendous amount of rotten friends for my mother to hang around with. And when they would run away from home and escape from juvenile hall and be getting chased by the police, she would hide them in my house. They would be like, my house was like the Underground Railroad for wayward children. And she'd be down in the basement smoking cigarettes and just drinking in their stories of crimes and misdemeanors, like the nutrients of rebellion that she was denied as a child of the 40s. And she was always worried about us in the 70s, with the freedoms that we had, but I think secretly she was jealous of us. She wanted to do it. So my mom was a tough, strong woman. My wife is that way too, and my daughter. So I'm going to sing this song for all the great women that I've had the pleasure of being surrounded and raised by and married to and helped raise too. There is a little girl with pretty curls. She's about 5 years old, and she's waiting at the gate for her dad to come home. When he pulls around the corner in his shiny white car, she feels the magic light up in her heart. And he picks her up and he holds her. He says he missed her. He's glad that she is here. As the child lays her head on his shoulder, she whispers these words in his ear. Daddy, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now she is 20 and there's plenty of love everywhere. She's getting married, so her family and her friends are all there. They've gathered this morning to stand at her side as she waves goodbye to this time in her life. And they each take a moment to hold her and to tell her what she means to them. In a world that seems to keep getting colder, she has been blessed with a warm family and friends. She says, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are older and no one told her it got crazy like this. They're going to night school, they're working jobs too. They're raising 3 kids. The youngest one is crying with a bruise on her knee. She needs attention and she needs sympathy. And when she picks her up and she holds her, that old magic lights up in her heart. And as the child lays her head on her shoulder, she knows exactly why they're working so hard. Little girl, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are 60 and their history spans 40 odd years. They have buried their parents, now their grandkids are here. There's something about the way they look in each other's eyes that speaks softly about the meaning of a life. And when he puts his arm out to hold her, it feels so familiar and warm. She thinks love is an expanding endeavor till your last breath from the moment you're born. She says, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now she is 80 and she hates being in this nursing home. Her man's been gone now for a long while and she feels so alone. She closes her eyes and she begins to pray that a little comfort might just come her way. And God lifts her up and he holds her. And she remembers this feeling she has. She is not a woman whose life is almost over. She's a little girl being held by her dad. And God, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. And God, love is real simple. Love is real simple. Love is real simple and true. Thank you. I thought you said this guy was funny. What the hell was that? How was the comedy show? It was the worst comedy show I ever went to. All right, here we go. All right, this is a new song. It's from my most recent CD. My most recent CD is called Live at the Guthrie Center. How about that? I got to record an album last year at the Guthrie Center in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, which those of you who are old enough to know and were of a certain persuasion in the 60s and 70s, I guess the 60s, that building, the Guthrie Center, was the church that they took the garbage out of in the movie Alice's Restaurant, right? And so Arlo bought the building in the 90s, and he's just been doing fantastic things with it, feeding the local people. He has food there. They do church services. It's basically a community building. You can do whatever you want with it, and it's such an honor to play there. And so we recorded this album there. It's called Live at the Guthrie Center. Those of you still wise enough to buy physical product or to download product so the artist gets a little bit, maybe you might want to consider that one. So this song is called This Is Nothing. That's the name of this song. The song is called This Is Nothing, and this is what it's about. In my town, my city, my state, Massachusetts, marijuana is legal, and I'm okay with that. I don't smoke it myself, but I'm glad it's legal. I'm glad people aren't going to jail for it. I think it's long overdue, but it's like legal. Just go have fun with it. You don't have to trick your doctor into lying to you about that you have some kind of, you don't have to get a fake of a medical card or anything. Just go have at it. And again, I don't use it, and I'm glad nobody's going to jail for it, but I have two issues that are addressed in this song. One, in my town now, and this is true in Colorado and other places too that I've been, you can't go anywhere and not smell weed anymore. Anywhere. It's coming out of like churches and kindergartens and police cars, every place. It's just everywhere. You go to an intersection and there's 3 other cars there, and smoke is pouring out of the windows of all the other cars, and you're like, go ahead, the light is green. And they're like, no, man, you go. I'm just going to sit here and look at the lights for a while. So my concern is for conversation. Like, I love conversation. I find this awkward because I feel like I'm talking to myself here. But if we were in person, I would be listening carefully to what you said. I would be processing it through my life experiences. Maybe you would say something to me that would be life-changing for me. Maybe it would make me grow, something I never thought of before. So I am a person who loves crisp, focused conversations. Now that this stuff is legal and it's everywhere, I feel that those of us who like focused conversations are going to have to go underground. That we're going to have a secret society, like speakeasy or speak intelligently easy. I'm cracking myself up now. All right. Or I fear a zombie stoner apocalypse. That's what I'm saying in terms of the quality of focused conversation. That's what my song's about. If you don't like it, I'm okay with that, but you should like it. It's pretty interesting. I sat around with a bunch of stoners. I listened to them talk all night long. They were sure that their conversation was deep with meaning. They were wrong. 'Cause when you smoke it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having a conversation. This is nothing at all. My friend Harry lit up a fatty to celebrate my brand new job. I watched his brain float out of my window. He left me talking to an empty blob. 'Cause when you smoke it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having a conversation. This is nothing at all. I have to get into character for this part. Let me droop my eyes a little bit. What if our whole life was just a dream, man? What if we're dreaming this right now? I forgot what I was just saying. Let's order pizza. Wow. 'Cause when you smoke it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having a conversation. This is nothing at all. It cures glaucoma, cures insomnia. Some people say that it is a cancer cure. It does not cure incoherent conversation, that's for sure. There we go. Ta-da. Alright. How you doing? Are you getting tired? I'm exhausted. Alright, so 15 minutes left of this thing. I think what I'll do is I will, what will I do? I don't know. Play a song maybe. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a story and then we'll see where we're at after this. So I have an idea. My idea is that after this, we could go over to Zoom and talk to each other, have an after party. Just for whoever wants to, you know, it doesn't matter. But I prefer Zoom. I like to be able to hear people and talk to them. And we can't really hear everybody. You have to mute some people and all that. But I just thought we might be able to do that. So my friend Brandon, who's working the chat room for me over here, or whatever this thing is on the right, he'll post a Zoom link in there. And so any of you who want to come and talk to me, I'm sure there are people watching this that I haven't spoken to or seen in a long time or whatever. Maybe we'll have a conversation over there. All right? How's that sound? So now, let's see. I think maybe I'll just play a couple songs. I think... I'm going to play this song for you here. This is called Angel in Pieces, and it's a song about believing in people when they're not well enough to believe in themselves. And we are in a time now when there's a lot of that. There are people, if you weren't well before this quarantine and all this stuff goes on, you're struggling now. So what I've been doing, and I would recommend this or suggest this to anybody, is I've been calling people. I'm using the modest old telephone. Right? And friends of mine that I know have mental health problems or have drug and alcohol problems, or people who are alone, widows, widowers, you know, whatever. Just somebody, because probably you'll be the only person who does call them, and it will mean something. So, so this song is called Angel in Pieces, and it's a song about believing in people when they're not well enough to believe in themselves. And in these times here, like, I don't want to... Like, I am still playful and mischievous. I feel like I'm defending my joy. That's what I feel like. I feel like I can do both things. I can be, don't have to fake being playful and joyful, and still understand how challenging and difficult the world is. I live in Massachusetts. We have a high rate of COVID here. My sister works at the hospital. It's real to me. You know, my city is the third highest rate in the state. But I can understand that and feel that and still be joyful and playful and fun. I feel like that's my job, is to not diminish one and to defend the other one. So this is a song that helps me that way. So I hope you like it, and then we'll do maybe one more after that, and then I'm going to scoot over to Zoom, I think, and see if anybody wants to hang out with me over there. I want to thank everybody at the Folk Project for doing this. This is really nice of them to spread the word and all that. So if we were in a real audience, you would all applaud now for them. Hey, nice job. Maybe you can, you know, how you do it online, whatever. But I'm grateful to them, everybody over there, and I hope to see them all in person sometime soon. So 2 more songs, right? So here we go. She walked into the room like she was walking off a cliff. In my mind I said, what kind of shattered angel is this? Her walk said, I've surrendered, and her face, I've had enough. Her eyes were holes, they were dark and cold. They said, I've given up. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. You know, life rains down so hard upon some people that we know. It tears their faith and their hope away, and they walk around like ghosts, and we see them as they are breaking, and as their spirit dies, but deep inside we still believe they will come alive and fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Now she walks across the room like she could walk across the sky. And those old dark eyes, they are so alive, they set the room on fire. This is no shattered angel, I say to myself. I feel Zuzu's petals, I hear one small bell. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Look how beautiful you are. All right. Thank you everyone for participating in my first ever live stream out to the world. So we're gonna hang out, have a little after party after on Zoom. Go search around in the chat over here, see if you can find the link if you want to hang out with us. But no matter what, thank you. Thanks for supporting artists these days. You know, a little bit of a challenge for us these days, but we know you're out there, and I'm glad that you're here. So this is the official ending of the show now. Normally, after, I would have done that as a last song, and then I would go backstage and wait for an encore, but, I don't know, this is my daughter's old bedroom. It's kind of a closet here. There's no, I guess I could hide over there, but it's kind of messy. You know, the only part that's not messy is what you can see here. The rest of this place is, looks like a bomb went off in it, so it's dangerous over there. I don't want to go there. So this is consider this the encore. Okay, so this song is called The Victory Dance. And I have to tell you about this. In 1980, I moved to Maine. I moved to Maine because I wanted to become famous. It was the first in a series of really interesting business decisions on my part. And I moved to Maine. Prior to that, my wife and I had hitchhiked for 3 years. Do you believe that? We hitchhiked for 3 years. And like when I say that now, I feel like a person who used to make buggy whips. but I did it. I hitchhiked and I hung around with kundalinis and vegetarians and ashrams, and like I'm from a factory town called Lynn, Massachusetts. I am not supposed to know what a kundalini is or what an ashram is, but I do because I hitchhiked all those years, and it opened my head up. So now I'm in Maine. I have no marketable skills. I don't know how to do anything. I'm an excellent hitchhiker, but that really didn't jump off the resume. But I got this house. I got a house that I lived in, cost $100 a month. It had no running water, a 2-seater outhouse, and when my parents would come up to see me, they were so disappointed in me. They're like, really? This is the way you want to live? My dad was saying to me, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'd be like, I'm trying to get back to the earth, Dad. And he would say to me, I don't know what that means, but if it means being dirt poor the rest of your life, then you, my son, are doing an excellent job. And so my son was born in this house with no running water, 1980, no plumbing. It cost $400. Prenatal care, postnatal care, and the birth itself, right, with a midwife and a technician in the house. Like $400. Like, you can't even talk to a doctor on the phone for that. Like, that costs that much to just call them on the phone now, I think. So my son was, I guess you could say he was like a Walmart baby, kind of. So anyway, one day during this period, I said to my wife, I think that we have no money, like zero money. I don't think that we have a penny. And she goes, what? I go, I believe that we are actually literally penniless. And she said, let's research that. So we went in the closet and stuck our hands in all the pockets of the jackets to see if we could find a penny. We had no bank account, and I was pretty sure that we did not have a cent, 1 cent. And so then we went, well, how about the couch? And we rammed our hands down in the couch, and I was like, hey, I got something. Ha, ha. Nope, that's a Cheerio. No, over here. No, that's an old M&M, So and we looked at each other, and we're like, we actually are literally penniless. And what we did then has set the tone for us for our life. Now we have an excellent marriage and a good life, and we don't fight really. People don't believe us when we say that, but we don't. Even through all this, we're together all the time now. We just outgrew it. We just get along. And this moment when we realized we were penniless, we danced. We did the "we do not have a penny" dance, and we danced around the living room because we had been hitchhikers for 3 years, and we knew that you have no control over anything. Something will happen. It'll turn out all right, whatever. And that's been our guiding light through the whole thing. We're like Zorba the Greek. You know the movie Zorba the Greek, when at the end all his stuff he builds crashes down into the ocean? It was like that. The guy says to him, we lost all our money. We built this thing. We have no income. We spent a year building it. What should we do? And Zorba says we should dance. And so I'm going to leave you with this, and then if anyone wants to pop over to Zoom, say hi, we'll do that. But I'm grateful to everybody. Thank you. I overheard a man complaining how his 401k was not performing quite how he would like it to. As he sipped his double latte and continued to complain, I thought about that day in 1982. We were living in the shack with the outhouse in the back. If I'm not mistaken, you were pregnant too. We thought it might be funny to count up all of our money and discuss all the investing we could do. We pulled our pockets inside out, pulled the cushions off the couch, stuck our fingers down deep inside. And then we emptied out the pockets of the jackets in our closet, but not one single penny did we find. So after the realization our financial situation was not conducive to investment at this time, we decided to invest in what we've always done best. We danced around the kitchen for a while, we do the victory dance. When life is such a mess, we don't know what else to do. We do the victory dance. When being penniless became literal to me and you. We could jump off of a building, take a bunch of pills, and you could walk around in a trance. But if you wake up in the morning on the right side of the lawn, go on and do the victory dance. I got fired from a job I had been working at for 20 years faithfully. Oh dear, oh God, oh my, how will I ever survive without a corporation taking care of me? I was so stressed out for weeks, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I didn't think that things would ever turn my way. And then a couple months went by, I began to realize, man, I really hated working at that place. So I started working for myself, improved my mental health. Now I'm happier than I've ever been before. Oh dear, oh my, oh God, I should have quit that stupid job 19 years ago. To the victory dance, so my life forces me to go out on my own. And then I just declare victory, and I march my army home. There are things you can't control, things you'll never know. Some things are always left to chance. If you're a clerk or you're a farmer, work from home in your pajamas. Man, there's a lot of people doing that right now, isn't there? If your health is getting worse, but you can still flirt with the nurse. If you lose your money, but you still got your honey. If the world has gone to hell, and you cannot find Purell. If you're stuck in a tiny house with your children and your spouse. If they canceled all your shows and you got nowhere to go and you're sitting in your room doing concerts now on Zoom. And you wonder what it means to be by yourself, playing music to a computer screen. And across the top are little squares, and all your friends are trapped in there. And you say to your friends who are trapped in the little squares, are you guys all okay in there? You know, trapped inside a box on a computer screen is just a metaphor for quarantine. If you lose your money, but you still got your honey. If you lose your honey, but you still got some money. You find it hard to cope because your kids are all on dope. Don't surrender yet, try not to forget. In this game of life we're in this game of life we're in this game of life that we are in. If you don't die, you win. Thank you. Thank you. All of the silent ones, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to check out of here and hop over to Zoom. Let me look at this over here a little bit first. See who's got something to say. Oh, pay on Venmo, we love that. Pay on Venmo, PayPal, that stuff should all be in there somewhere. All right, how to donate. Well, let's see. At the bottom of the over here, there's Venmo and PayPal stuff over here in this chat, and on the YouTube page, the PayPal and Venmo is there. So thank you. Applause, Lindsay Meyer. Look at all you people. Wow, I thought I'd be doing this all by myself. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. Good. Thank you. Wow, look at that. All right. All right, I'm out. End stream. Goodbye. Alrighty on the zombie. Whoa! End it. Kill it. Shoot it in the back.